Hey guys, Tom here again, back for the Velocity YouTube channel, standing in the showroom. Today, we're doing a walk around video on this marvelous Eruption Green K10. It is awesome, it's got all the bells and whistles on it. I can't wait to walk you through it. And the best part is, this one is available for sale, one of the few K10s that we've got ready to go. Check it out, we're gonna walk through it together. All right, let's start where we always do, which is with color. And this is Eruption Green. Now, if you're a fan of Velocity builds, this will not be a new color to you. You will have seen it before. We've done Broncos in it. I think we did a C10 in it. We have done lots of Chevy trucks in it. And this color is most popular actually on another Chevy truck, the K5, so the SUV. Really popular, and it's easy to see why. It's a really, really nice medium green, super deep metallic flake, almost has like a yellow undertone to it when the light hits it. Looks almost leafy and just wonderful, vibrant. It's kind of what you would think of if you were thinking of like a hunting color or going out in the wilderness and exploring. It's really that sort of color. It is, of course, matched up with a frost white. So this is a real true Chevy white. It is not a cream. It's not like the Ford colors where sometimes we'll put a bit of cream in the paint there. It is a real true white. And of course, that itself is a very classic Chevrolet theme. Let's come around the front of the truck and we'll talk about the grille. Same grille as on the K5s. Obviously, this generation of K5, K10 all have this sort of similar grille. There is nuances and variants based on like what year you go and things like that. But for us, this is the grille that we fit. This is the grille, I call it the cheese grater grille because that's what it reminds me of. All, of course, dressed in chrome. You got the Chevy blue ribbon as well there in the middle, big chrome bumper on the front. And let's talk quickly about these headlights at the front here. These are Holley Retro Bright headlights. So they look like an old school halogen lamp, but they are actually brand new LEDs. And they are, somebody asked me the other day, and I've never talked about this on a video, I don't think, but these are actually automatic. So if you like are driving, in the night or whatever, and it gets dark, just like a modern truck, these will actually come on. You don't have to pull a switch or anything. There is a switch in the cab to control things, but by default, it's on automatic. So these are fully automatic as well, which is really nice. You have lower reflectors as well. We're going to come onto the chassis on this one later on, but you can see the K10 sits almost exactly the same as the K5 in terms of height. To give you an idea, I'm about 6 foot when I'm wearing my boots, and it's significantly taller than me. It is a really big truck, and that means that these vehicles, they have just such an amazing road presence. You really feel kind of like a king of the road when you're driving them, which is great. We're going to walk down the side of the vehicle next, and I'm going to talk you through some of the options that you get as part of our Heritage Series, because this vehicle is the upgraded Heritage Series. So a couple of different levels. Let me just give you kind of a scope. Signature is our base, Heritage is the middle, then you've got Founders on top of that, and then we have custom builds, and you can go really crazy. But Heritage is a really nice step up from a Signature series. The clue's in the name. The design is to be based around like more heritage, and that's why you get that two-tone palette and this wooden trim and stuff. One of the major things that you get when you go to a Heritage series across both inside and outside are Velocity billet components, and let's start by talking about those. So side mirrors, these are all machined here on our 5-axis machine. They're completely custom to us. They're really cool. They're slightly larger than the stock mirror, and they don't vibrate as much. Much better visibility for the driver as you're going around, just to be able to see behind you, and just much more stable. They also look amazing. Same thing with the door handle. This is a brand new door handle made here, all made out of billet aluminum, and again, just feels really premium. So the actual actuation on the button, everything about that is just that step above what you would get from stock. Obviously looks a little bit different, but subtle enough so it doesn't ruin the look of the truck. Let's talk about this trim. I mentioned a minute ago, there is a wooden inlay trim, and this trim color style pattern is what we call our middle split trim. So you've got color at the top, a color at the bottom, and then the contrast color in the middle. And if you were building your own K10, you also would have the option of making the roof another color as well. So this roof could have been white. Now for me, I like the top body color and the roof color to match. That's just my personal preference, and when I spec these trucks, that's kind of the way I go. But we have built some that look very, very classic because they have the white, then the green or blue, and then the white, and then the green, or the main color. So that's something that you can do. You can also change, if you're building your own, this wooden inlay. There's a couple of colors, like 3 or 4 different colors that you can do, lighter woods and darker woods and things like that. For me, with Eruption Green, this dark brown is just perfect, and it goes inside the cabin too, which is really, really nice. Let's talk about wheels next. We've got deep dish style wheel. A couple of different options that you can do on these when you go to the Heritage Series. You can, of course, go for the classic bullet hole style wheel. I like those. A lot of people like those. But when you step into a Heritage, we just feel like this looks a little bit more classic. Obviously fully presented, looks really nice. BF Goodrich all-terrain tires like normal as well. These are 35s. They're an all-terrain, not a mud terrain. Obviously, if you go to a mud terrain, you can get a more aggressive look, but it kind of ruins road handling in our opinion. So that's why we go with that setup. Let's walk down the back of the vehicle, and just a couple of other things to point out. The main one being, of course, this is K10. And so you do have this massive pickup bed, which I'll show you in a minute. You're going to notice something now, which is, Tom, where's the fuel cap? There's no fuel cap. Where's the fuel filler? I haven't seen it. Well, of course, it's been moved. It's hidden away, which we'll show you in a second. All right, now we're around the back of the truck, so you can see the tailgate. And of course, the first thing that I notice when you look at these tailgates is the wood, the trim that we were just talking about continues all the way down the tailgate. Of course, you've got the Chevrolet badging at the back here as well. Matching rear bumper to match that front chrome bumper as well. That all looks really nice. And then, of course, we couldn't leave it. It's a Heritage Series. We couldn't leave it without some billet components. And that's this here. This is the tailgate handle, but integrated into that tailgate handle is, of course, the backup camera. It gives you really great visibility, hooks up to the infotainment, which we'll talk about later, and just looks fantastic. If I operate the tailgate here, lower it down, you can see inside of the bed. So we've got a couple of different paint finishes going on for the bed. The back of the tailgate and the sides of the bed are all finished in Eruption Green, so that's a metallic. But you'll notice inside is a different texture, and that's because we've actually Raptor lined the inside. Now, Raptor typically is black. It's a truck bed lining. It's exactly what it's meant to be used for. It's typically black, but when we do builds like this, we tint it. Now, you can't really tint Raptor in a metallic. You just don't see the metallic flake. So what the guys do is they match the color as close as possible, and I think this turned out great. It really does match the color brilliantly. Of course, the underside of the truck is also all finished in that Raptor lining as well to give you extra protection. Other thing to note, of course, as I hinted at earlier, is the gas cap position. Where do you fill the fuel up? And yes, now it's in the back of the bed there. All right, now we're going to move on to the interior, which I think is one of my favorite things about this truck, and it'll be easy for you to see why. Really nicely done, this one in particular. All of the interiors that we do are good, but I love the coloring on this one. Start by talking through the door panel here. So main thing I want to focus on initially is, of course, this leather. It's a really dark brown, sort of chocolate leather. It's not black, definitely has a sort of almost blue tint in it, a little bit of purple, but what it just absolutely exudes is luxury. It's a really, really, really nice leather. One of the nicest ones I think we've ever done, in my opinion. It just looks fantastic. So that's all covered across the door panel, of course, across the rest of the interior. That's the main material here. The other material you're going to notice inside the door panel here is the wood, and it's the same wood that's on the outside of the vehicle, so it all matches in together, or wraps in. Again, looks very, very premium. The billet components we were talking about on the outside of the vehicle then come inside the vehicle. So this is your door handle, internal door handle. This is your window regulator here for your electric windows. So it looks old school, but actually when the ignition's on, if you lift it up, it'll come up and down. You can do all sorts of funky stuff there too, which is fantastic. Now this entire structure here, this door panel, is all made in-house. It's not bought online. It's not a take-off interior, and that's just one of the things that sets Velocity apart from quite a lot of the other builders out there. Most builders are just going to buy something that's mass-produced. We design all of our own stuff here, and the door panel is an example of one of those things. Going to jump in the truck now, made much easier, of course, by that side step. Like I said a minute ago, this truck is tall, and you really feel like, wow, like I'm up here and tall. And so getting in, you know, you need the side steps. Now they're on a little push button, so when you shut the door, up they come, and then when you open the door again, they come down, and that makes it easy to get out of the truck without ruining the look of the truck in motion, right? That's one of the things that we really love about these particular side steps is that folding ability. The fixed side steps, in my opinion, can kind of ruin the look of the truck a little bit. That's just my personal preference. These work really, really well. When you're sitting in here, you're greeted by, well, the first thing you're greeted by is the smell. Leather smell. It's brand new. It's just fantastic. Feels great. But the second thing you see, of course, is the steering wheel. This is something that most people, when they first look at our interiors, Heritage Series vehicles, they all have this sort of a steering wheel. They mention people love these steering wheels. So this is designed by Spark Industries in partnership with us. It is an exclusive product to us. Again, it is full billet, and it's wrapped in that same matching sort of chocolate leather. Feels great. There's even like grooves on the back to make gripping it easier. It's just a very premium product, the Velocity flying V, of course, etched in where the horn button is. Behind that, you've got a tilt steering column, so you've got some extra adjustability. And actually, this entire bench seat will slide back and forward a little bit as well if you do need some more room. The tilt steering column is an I Did It tilt steering column. It's really nice. It's a premium product. It works very well. Normally on a Signature Series build, this would just be powder coated black, but of course, because it's a Heritage, you've gone to that next level. We've painted it Eruption Green too. The wood continues now into the instrument cluster around that dashboard, and then actually the instrument cluster itself is not the original, it is all new. So it's a Dakota digital dash. It's what we use in all Velocity products. Dakota digital dash basically looks old school, but it's got all new technology in it. So if I just turn the key here, just so we get a little bit of ignition, the first thing you'll notice is all of the dials match green, because of course the truck exterior is green, and you can change those settings and mess with those. But you have these two little screens here, and the screens basically give you live miles per hour, the gear you're in, how many miles you've done on your odometer, and you can cycle through those screens too, so you can change them to say things like your temperature and oil pressures and things like that if you want to. I love this because it just doesn't ruin the look of the classic truck, but it has all of the modern features that you'd want. I'm going to transition over to the other side now so I can talk to you more about the rest of the interior. All right, so now you're on the other side of the truck. Can talk a little bit more about this bench seat in more detail. We've talked about the leather already, so let's talk about the stitch and the finish of the trim. You'll notice the main portion, of course, is these inserts, and these are a woven leather insert. They look fantastic, they feel fantastic, super comfortable, and this for me is one of the major wow factors that you get when you move into a Heritage Series. You get access to inserts like this. And this is the sort of thing that when you take this to a show or you show your friends, take your neighbours out for a drive, people just, they see this and they just love it. It just marks the vehicle as a step above the rest. Really, really premium option. You do have a third seat belt here, so you can fit somebody in the middle now. They, it's like a truck, right? They probably want to be a little bit small, but you do have a third seat belt, so you can have 3 people in the front of the cabin. Let's look down next before we work our way back up and talk about this carpet. It is not just a simple black carpet. It is a fully custom brown carpet to match the rest of the interior. Very thick, and I have to call out the guys in the trim shop. Look how well this vehicle is carpeted. Like, it's easy on a video or not close up to talk about carpet and just think, well, what is it? It's carpet. I've seen it on Barrett-Jackson. All of them get carpet in them, whatever. Trust me, next time you go to a Barrett-Jackson or somewhere like that, take a look at some other trucks and get up close to the carpet. Then if there's a Velocity vehicle there, take a look at a Velocity vehicle. Let's talk about these 2 sticks really quickly. Had some customers come the other day, and of course, the first thing the lady did when she got in the truck was she said, "Oh, do I need to shift here?" No, these are your high and low range levers. So this vehicle, like any 4-wheel drive vehicle, has 4-wheel drive, right? It doesn't lose that capability when Velocity rebuilds it, and so you do have a transfer case in this one, and that's what these levers basically control. Normally, when you drive in the vehicle, you're just going to be in rear wheel drive high range. That's for just everyday driving. But if you went on the beach, you might go into rear wheel drive low or 4-wheel low if you were doing really heavy stuff. So you've got all of that flexibility there. The shift gate itself has all been finished in that same brown leather, the chocolate leather, and like the light switches and actually like the wash wipe switch here as well, you have Velocity billet custom tops to these, so it just looks really, really nice. Working our way up into the kind of the main instrument area here, you do have a touchscreen infotainment system. So this is an Alpine system. It's hooked up to that backup camera we mentioned earlier, and it's powering or running a full focal speaker system. So you've got a sub underneath the seat, you've got speakers in the doors, and you've got speakers in the kick panels down here as well. These kick panels are also finished in that same brown leather. Just the little details that you won't see until you actually sit and get close to a truck. They look fantastic. Above that, again, to make the cabin nice and comfortable, you have a brand new vintage air AC system. Don't let the name fool you. It is brand new, it's modern, it's powerful. Dash pad above is also finished in the brown chocolate leather, which looks brilliant, as are the sun visors as well. And then above that, because it's a Chevy, there is no headliner. There's no headliner in any Chevy trucks, but of course, we're not just going to leave it black. Wait,
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
That's cool.
Is this bit going to make the video or not? I don't know.
This will make the video.
There is no headline unless you do like a custom K5 and you have the hard top on it. Then there could be like a leather headliner in it. But on a C10 or a K10, we don't put any of that stuff in there. You leave it open. It's more original, and we paint it, and it's of course painted in Eruption Green. So there you go. I think that about covers it for the interior. Anything else I've missed? Of course, this is the cubby box. There's a fuse box behind there. That's all finished in the wood grain as well. The thing I'm going to give you is my last 2 cents is these are just super comfortable. You know, you have to come and obviously sit in one before you take my word for it. If you see us at a show or you want to come to the shop and do a tour and come, stand in the showroom, come and sit in one of the trucks, because they're just great. They don't feel stuffy. They feel great. They feel as modern as possible without ruining the aesthetic of the vehicle. Let's go and talk now about the driveline. All right, let's take a look under the hood of this beast and see what powers the thing. Now, if you watched the videos before, you know we have a couple of different engine choices, and the main one that we go for with the Chevy is, of course, the LT1. It's a 6.2 litre V8 producing about 460 horsepower, lots of low-end torque, really good for moving consistently a big, heavy vehicle like this. Now, something for 2026 that we've started offering, we didn't used to do this, but on some models, we will also add a supercharger or a blower. And so that's something that you could do on this vehicle or on your own build if you wanted to. Just my opinion, 460 horsepower in this truck is already plenty. Some people though, they really want power, and we've been asked by a lot of customers, hey, could I get up to like 550, 600 horsepower? Is that a thing? You know, yes, of course, if you go that route. So that's just a little tidbit for you, something that we started offering this year. Behind this engine is a 10-speed automatic transmission, the 10L80. It's a very similar transmission to what we use in our Ford, and that's because the 10L and the 10R, which is the Ford version, was a joint collaboration between the two brands to basically create a universal or more universal transmission. That's a little fact that you may well have known. The cool thing about the transmission is it shifts super quickly and super smooth. It is really, really modern. Of course, all these components are brand new, but sometimes when you buy aftermarket components and certain transmissions, especially 4-speed and 6-speed transmissions, they can feel a little bit clunky. When you go into a 10-speed, it feels super, super smooth as you're going through the gears. It's great also for highway driving because it means you're not at the top of your rev limit when you're driving in 70, 80 miles an hour. And also it's great for around town. You've just got more flexibility across the gears. So really, really cool all around. This is a Velocity full resto mod build, and as such, it does have disc brakes all around. They're a Willwood Hydra boosted disc brake system. You can't see them because of the rims, but they are there. So you've got all of the stopping power as well. A couple of other things to touch on before we talk about the chassis. In the engine bay, just while we're looking at it, we've got billet hood hinges. These are really, really nice. The main thing though is all the fit and finish, the detail around this engine bay, all of the piping, all of the connections. It's just super clean. The underside of the hood has been painted in that same eruption green, as has the firewall. These are sometimes things that you just see black Raptor sprayed really quickly and easily, whereas we take the time to kind of paint everything. The only area we don't paint, and just finish off here, is the inside of the wheel arches. The reason for that is because it's really easy to scratch when you're working on things, so that's why we don't paint those. Chassis, that's the final component, of course, of a build like this. And yes, if you know Velocity, you know we exclusively work with Roadster Shop. So this is a full 4-link coilover RS chassis. Underneath this one, it's got an extended wheelbase, of course, the K10. And so that extension of wheelbase versus something like a smaller vehicle combined with the 4-link just makes it super smooth to drive. Very, very eliminated body roll, very comfortable at highway speeds, comfortable in the corners, very easy to use every day. Again, in big part thanks to that Roadster Shop chassis there. I think that about covers it for the technical components of the truck. I don't know what more I can say really about this K10 other than it's basically our most popular K5 in K10 form. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, we have done a number of K5s now in this color palette, and it's so easy to see why it just looks fantastic. The Eruption Green with that frost white in the middle is just so classic, with a little bit of class as well. So anyway, it just works great. This one is available for sale, like I said at the start of the video. If you've got any more questions, you can give us a call. The number and the link to the website will be down below, or you can leave a comment on YouTube, of course. This vehicle does come with our 2-year bumper-to-bumper warranty as well, so you do have all that peace of mind while driving. And like I said, it's ready to go. It can ship anywhere in the US or anywhere in the world. Any questions, just get in touch, and I'll see you on the next one.